from those executing on those dreams. Here, we celebrate the wins, both big and small. Here, we talk to real entrepreneurs, the one that took action and changed their lives. Here, we're giving you the blueprint so that you can stop watching and start building. So, if you're ready to tap into your God-given ability, to turn knowledge into passive income, to create a system that works for you instead of you working for it. Hey, welcome home. This is where transformation begins. This is where faith meets execution. This is where you level up your Airbnb game. This is Airbnb Pro Tips.
Welcome to a life of abundance. Today we are stepping into a mindset of prosperity, financial success, and limitless opportunities. You are not here by accident. You are here because you are meant for greatness.
All right, mic check, mic check.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We're going to get started in about 90 seconds. Intermittent Wi-Fi. Okay. All right, we're going to get our monologue out of the way. We're going to check the mic, and we're going to get into some of these very interesting topics that we have on tap today. All right, so let's get it. So they told us that wealth was locked behind boardroom doors that we would never enter. That freedom was preserved for the privileged, the connected, and the already rich. But let me tell you something, that was a lie. See, we are the generation That's rewriting the rule book. See, we don't need $1 million fund. We don't need a landlord's permission. But what we do need is a blueprint, y'all. That's exactly what I'm about to lay down. This is Airbnb Pro Tips, and I am your host, Earl McCray. Every week, we're breaking down real game from real entrepreneurs on how to launch, automate, and scale that Airbnb business. We're giving you the strategies, the money moves, and the mindset shifts that will separate those from the dreams from those who are executing on those dreams. Here, we celebrate the wins, both big and small. Here, we talk to real entrepreneurs, the one that took action and changed their lives. Here, we're giving you the blueprint so that you can stop watching and start building. So, if you're ready to tap into your God-given ability to turn knowledge into passive income, to create a system that works for you instead of you working for it. Hey, welcome home. This is where transformation begins. This is where faith meets execution. This is where you level up your Airbnb game. This is Airbnb Pro Tips. Okay, guys, we got a lot on this agenda for today. Let's jump right into it. Jump right into it. All right. So, I'm sorry, I don't have my camera on. So much information to get done in an hour, but we're gonna do what we can. All right. As in our tradition, let's talk about some wins for the week, family. What have we been experiencing? What's going on? What's the wins looking like for the week? Dante, you want to start, brother?
Yes, sir. The wins for me this week, which is focusing more on the business, like the back end of things, such as getting like a new phone number and thinking about getting a new business banking account and things like that. And also, I've just been prospecting in more areas as well. And I've been able to contact some landlords and stuff like that.
Okay, good stuff, man. So your prospecting is picking up. Now, forgive me, man, but what's been giving you the most traction? Is it doing it through Zillow? Is it Facebook? You like Craigslist? What do you like?
So I prefer Zillow on Facebook Marketplace just because I do work a 9 to 5, so it's just easier for me to just text them while I'm like going out, like going to work every single day. With Craigslist, it's just really like an email game,
It
and
is, yeah.
I haven't really found much success with that. So that's why I prefer to just message on Facebook Marketplace or just send a text message out to the prospects on Zillow.
No, I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. I hate the email game, but sometimes if you can get at it more direct, it makes more sense. All right, man. Well, thanks for sharing the wins. Hey, Ren, bro, thanks for sharing, popping in, man. You are officially part of the community. What are your wins for the week, man?
Oh, I signed that JV partnership with you. How about that? That's a big win. We're gonna see what it's gonna do.
Yeah, man. We gonna make it do what it do. So Ren, if you could tell the community a little bit about yourself. Obviously, OC knows you real well because we were in Hawaii a year ago. But if you could let the community know a little bit about you.
Well, I'm retired military. I did 25 years. I retired in 2017. I worked for the Social Security Administration for about 7 years. During that time, I started doing some real estate investing. I'm pretty much running 3 businesses right now. What else? Yeah, I'm just trying to get my streams of income up, and that's about it. I'm trying to see what the Airbnb world is like. See if I can make this another stream too. I need to add on. I need to try to get them 100 streams. I need to add this one on.
All right, man. That's what it is, man. And you guys know, like Ren, man, I was in the military. I'm a government employee, aka a teacher, turned renegade with this STR thing. And like we do this every week where we go live on a couple of social media channels just so we can pull back the covers. So y'all have an idea of seeing how this STR game is played at a real high level, because at any given time, when everybody from the community gets together, collectively, we may have 40, 50 properties that are under management. So, we've seen some things, we've experienced some things, and if we can glean a little insight of what we do or how we maneuvered in a situation, and it can save you some time and make you some money, yeah, let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, again, my win for the week was my young man, my son. He is helping me navigate this VA benefit thing. And I have a VSO. For those of you guys who don't know, when you go through the military, a lot of times you minimize the amount of pain you're in or injury you might have had. Kind of similar to sports, if I could be frank. Like if you play in any kind of football or soccer, any physical sport, you don't want to leave the field. So you don't really talk about how bad you're hurt. So so I'm going through that process right now with my VSO, where I'm trying to document some of the challenges I had in the military. And I'm gonna be completely honest. I was just gonna tough it out, y'all. I wasn't trying to get a government handout. But Ren,
no. You earned it. You served.
yes.
You did it. See, I'm glad you said that. My wife works for does the VA claims. So get with me offline, and we can pretty much walk you through what you need to do.
Beautiful, because I'm having some challenges with my VSO. I mean, he's telling me one thing, and my son is saying, "Dad, no, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right." So my son is my win for the week, because I just don't have that third eye, because I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah. So get with me offline. I guarantee you we can get it moving faster than what you got it right now.
All right, sounds good. All right, man, it's power in community, y'all. All right, so as promised, we got some juicy topics to talk about. We're gonna talk about some shifts in the rules that Airbnb is making, and then we're gonna talk about how you can respond to the shift. And then we're going to talk about point 3, the easiest way, because we all have competition. Competition is a good thing, by the way, because if you don't have competition, that means there's no demand. If you don't have a demand, that means you don't have an opportunity. And then we're going to also talk in point 4, how the name of the game used to be Superhost, but they done changed it up. Superhost don't mean what it used to mean, everybody. So we're going to talk about what that looks like. And then we're going to go through a theme that we have been mentioning multiple times through the weeks about not selling stays, but selling the experience when a person's at your stay. So let's begin. And here's how we set it up. We play a clip and we let our expert panel chime in with their thoughts, with their criticism. And sometimes it's really interesting when we push back. So let's get it. Airbnb changed the rules. Are you ready for the payout shakeup? Let's get it.
So, do you like it strict or firm, your cancellation policy? Well, if you like it strict, enjoying while it lasts, because starting October 1st, 2025, new listings on Airbnb will not be able to use the strict policy.
Welcome to RSU by Pricelabs weekly podcast. Subscribe now.
Hello everyone, there's been a lot of buzz recently about new changes on the Airbnb platform when it comes to payment terms and cancellation policies. So today I'm going to break down what's happening, why hosts are concerned, and what you can do about it. So first, the strict cancellation policy is essentially going away for new listings. starting October 1st, 2025. If your existing listings use the strict policy, Airbnb will automatically move them to the slightly more flexible, firm policy. So strict, firm. Unless you specifically opt out. I'll tell you later how. Firm isn't as protective for hosts as strict. It allows guests a full refund up to 30 days before check-in, whereas strict only allowed refunds up to 7 days before. Another important update. Airbnb is introducing a new cancellation policy called limited. This policy fits between moderate and firm, offering a balance. Guests can receive a full refund up to 14 days before check-in and 50% if they cancel between 7 and 14 days before check-in. If the cancellation is within 7 days of check-in, there's no refund, providing hosts with some added protection compared to moderate policy. Third big change. No matter what cancellation policy you have, be it flexible, moderate, limited, or firm, or even if you're grandfathered into strict, Airbnb is giving every guest a universal 24-hour grace period to cancel after booking, provided the booking at least 7 days before check-in. That means even confirmed reservation is effectively conditional for at least a day. Fourth, Airbnb has clarified what happens with the pay part now, part later, and reserve now, pay later bookings. These guest-friendly options are not entirely new, but Airbnb has now clearly stated that if a guest misses their follow-up payment, they have 72 hours to resolve the issue. If not, Airbnb automatically cancels their booking. Now, here's why hosts are concerned. Airbnb's changes put more financial certainty directly on you. You as a host haven't done anything wrong, yet your confirmed booking could suddenly disappear if a guest doesn't complete their payments just because Airbnb is giving guests financial flexibility. So this pay now, pay later thing. So even though your cancellation policy might determine if you get compensated at all, the fact remains your income could vanish unexpectedly. Also, payout timing, note that payout timing can now be delayed explicitly, right? Normally it's like end of the 24-hour on the first day of check-in. It could be now be 24-hour on the day of check-out. If you are in breach of Airbnb policies, or actually for your new host, if you're a new host who hasn't completed at least 2 stays or verified your listing, you won't get paid until basically the end of the stay. This means Airbnb can hold your money longer, and indeed that can impact your cash flow, but that's not for most hosts. So why is Airbnb doing this? Well, if you look at the broader industry, companies like Booking.com have long offered flexible cancellation and payment terms. Right? This even been Booking.com's positioning for a lot, right? It's very easy to cancel anything on Booking.com. And as a host, you're like, wow, wait a minute, that's good for guests, but I'm not sure I really want you to push that onto guests, right? That they can cancel anytime. So in terms of math, statistically, offering more flexibility and easier cancellation policies, for us, it does increase certainty, but actually tends to boost overall bookings on the platform and the revenue. More flexibility leads to more bookings because guests feel less risks when booking. Additionally, flexible payment terms like pay part now and part later, or reserve now, pay later, allow guests who might struggle to afford higher prices upfront to still book and eventually pay for your stays. Given the rising prices of accommodations, splitting payments can ultimately bring more revenues to us, right, by making bookings accessible to more guests. Of course, so that's the trade-off. While flexibility can increase bookings overall, it creates a certainty for individual hosts because guests can cancel your property to book another easily, right? So, overall, it works for the platform statistically, right? But for me, it may not work out because, everybody's flexible. I mean, my listing is cancelled and the guest books something else. So what can you do? First off, if you currently have, like I do, a strict cancellation policy and wish to keep it, make sure you explicitly opt out, and you can through your Airbnb hosting dashboard before October 1st. You'll see there's a call out in your dashboard telling you to update your terms if you're strict, and you'll see they give you a choice either to go to the new firm or to keep strict and being grandfathered. Remember, for example, policies such as super strict 30 days or super strict 30-day policy.
All right, family. Let's talk about this. Lot was going on with that. But I think it's an important thing to know as the landscape changes. How do you like it, Rand? Do you like it strict or you like it flexible? How do you like it?
I kind of like it flexible, and the reason why I say that is because I do a lot of my booking for, like, if I'm going somewhere for hotels, do booking.com. So that gives me the option of, hey, I got a certain amount of time before I can cancel this booking or whatever. So anything can come up between that time frame, you know what I mean? So, and I think it does it gives the guests more, I guess they feel a certain freedom about the risk of their, which we call it, rather he's saying, oh, well, I got this and you're going to take my money because something came up and I couldn't meet that timeline. And also with the booking.com, you can pay it now or you can pay at the property when you get there, whatever. So, but as long as you cancel before a certain date, then you're good to go. For me, on the outside looking in, like I said, it's my first time dealing with the Airbnb. I think, like the guy was saying, that you're going to create more of comfort and probably get more bookings than you will if you keep a strict policy saying you can do this. Because somebody else that's in your, what you call it, is going to say, you know what, I'm going to go to a flexible or relaxed one, and guess who's going to get all the bookings? That person's going to get all the bookings, whatever, and you're going to start falling short because people are not going to feel safe. So, I mean, like I said, I'm new, so I don't I don't know the back end actually, but I'm looking at it. When I look at it, I'm looking at it as more of a consumer, somebody who's actually booking what's going to make me feel more comfortable.
Appreciate it, man. Love the commentary. Dante, how do you like it? You like it strict or you like it flexible?
So from a host standpoint, I prefer a strict policy because I value guaranteed income.
Your money. I got
exactly.
you.
However, right. It does make sense to switch to the flexible policy just because bookings will increase. However, it's just uncertainty about the guaranteed money that's going to come through. I know, like, maybe like 7 times out of 10, you'll still be able to receive the bookings and like keep the money. However, it's like sometimes these guests, they'll say anything or do anything just to get a full refund back. So I just don't like that there's nothing to protect us anymore on the platform. Like, as the months go on, it's just less and less protection for us hosts.
Absolutely. So it's interesting, because part of what I'm learning is my wife and I, at some point, our trajectory is that currently 90% of our day is short-term rentals, and like a percentage of our day is learning how to do multifamily real estate. But we're trying to shift so that 5 years out, a very small part of what we're going to do would be short term, because multifamily real estate, as Ren will attest, is what everybody should be aspiring to, because that's where the big money is made, apartment buildings. So I say all that to say, I spend my mornings learning about multifamily, and I spend my afternoons making sure I know everything I need to know about short-term rentals. So I was on a podcast today, and the conversation was about flexibility. And it had nothing to do with Airbnb, but it was about understanding that when you as a host have a minimum stay requirement, it makes sense because you have the security of know you have the bookable nights. But if you have a potential guest, maybe your requirement is 10 days or 7 days. But what if they only need 3 days or 5 days? And their point was that statistically, the more flexible you are as a business person, you got to have systems, you got to have processes, you want to be wise, but the more flexible you can be with your systems, the more income you can make. And I said, man, okay. So I left that training and went back to this because I'll be honest with you, like Dante, I'm a strict. Yo, you book, it's like the airline. It's like the airline. As soon as you hit pay, I might change my plans, but that airline ticket is paid.
Right.
They ain't giving it to. So I'm just, it's an evolution for me. It's a transition in thought. Because I think if your goal is to be jack of all, master of nothing, I think it's very easy just to put it on strict and forget it. But if you're trying to hyper focus and only master a few things, you'll make more money by being flexible. You really will. And so that's my overall takeaway. I ain't telling you guys what to do, but I'm just telling you what I'm thinking about doing.
I think you have to look at what your business model is. Like Dante was saying, hey, I'm looking more on the lines as a host. I'm looking for this guaranteed money. So yeah, if that's what your focus is and that's what you're trying to do, then hey, stick to what you know. You know what I'm saying? If you're a person that's like, you know what, I can deal with the flexibility, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm not putting, you know what I'm saying, everything, like I don't need everything to come in. I just trying to get more bookings or whatever. And, you know, word of mouth says a lot because once somebody books somewhere, they're going to spread the word. Oh, they was flexible. That host worked with me. You know what I'm saying? When I, with the card, I was able to cancel. You know what I'm saying? You know, so it really depends on, you got to be stick to your guns or whatever it is that you're trying to do. That's how I look at it. Like, hey, if I want, this is what I want, that's what I'm gonna go with. If I'm trying to go another route, you know what I'm saying, then that's what I'm gonna go with, you know. So it really is up to you as the host or whatever to decide how you trying to make that income or whatever.
Agreed, man. Agreed. All right, so here's the follow-up to the video. So for a host that want to stay on, because let me restate it. This is changing for all new listings. So for those of us who've had listings up and running, if we want to stay with our strict policy, we have the ability to do that. But any listing that happens that you generate after October 1 of this year is going to have this flexibility. So for those that want to keep it strict, this is what this video speaks to.
Airbnb is taking away the strict cancellation policy for most hosts. If you don't act, you'll be switched to a less protective policy. But you can keep strict, and here's exactly how. First, go to your Airbnb hosting dashboard. You'll see a pop-up that says, confirm your updated cancellation policy. Click on it. The next screen shows two options side by side, firm and strict. Look closely. Firm is the new default, and it gives guests more chances for a refund. Strict is the one you want to keep if you want more protection. So scroll down and click the button that says Keep Strict Policy. You need to do this for each listing you want to protect. Do this before October 1st. After that, Strict will be gone and you can't get it back. Note that even if you keep Strict, Airbnb now gives all guests 24 hours to cancel for free after they book, and this applies to every policy.
Okay, this information's good to know. Good to know. All right, let's keep this conversation going.
Airbnb.
I want to talk about what everybody should be aware of. Competition. Competition is inherent with success. If you're the only person doing it, then there's probably not a lot of opportunity to be successful because the demand is limited. So let's talk about how we can be better than our competitors.
When we do market research, we look for best practices. Like I just said before, I wasn't painting, I had no plants, I had no lamps. There are design best practices, and you should study those design best practices to know what has to exist in a property. And then you should study your competition and identify who's making a lot of money, what best practices are they following, what are they doing that the market's not doing, what amenities do they have, what location, what size. Then identify if there's a commoditized inventory in your market so you can make sure you never go in that direction. Don't do their design styles. And you can copycat the one best listing if it's weird. That's fine, because the one best listing will always get booked anyway. And so if they're always booked, let's say they're booked a year in advance and you start an Airbnb property. When you show up in search, they won't be, because they're booked a year in advance. You're going to be the only one that pops up. So it's as if that other guy doesn't even exist anyway. You'll make tons of money that way. But even the best guys do some things wrong. So if you can identify, that they've got a length of stay minimum that never changes, or they don't change their prices appropriately, or they're missing a couple of key amenities that the market really wants, or they don't have a totally complete design. They've got a good living room, but their bedrooms are mid. That happens all the time. You can still beat them. You can do better. So you can copycat to a degree, and then you can crush them.
So this reminds me. So I was doing a strategic session with Cornell, who's a member of the community, and we were using. He showed me a couple of his properties, and I said, "Okay, great. Go to the your dashboard using your AI software." So we use a software to price called Pricelabs. Those of you, you can get a discount on Pricelabs by hitting the link. No, I don't do that. But I'm saying I would use Pricelabs because they do have really good data. But my man didn't even know in his dashboard he could take his property, go out 5 miles or 10 miles from his property, take a look at all of the similar property, and it would put it in a grid. And it would, column 1, this is my cleaning fee, this is their cleaning fee. Column 2, this is what I'm paying for the weekends, this is what they're charging for the weekends. This is what I'm charging for the weekdays, this is what they're charging for the weekdays. Now, he did not even know that feature existed. So here I went through it, and I said, bro, let me ask you a question. Why do you think that your space isn't booked and their places are booked and their prices are more expensive than yours? It's like, I have no idea. I said, well, bro, you're treating this like a commodity. Not everyone treats it like a commodity. So what you actually have to do is you have to open up what your competition is doing and take a hard look and compare and contrast. Compare what they're saying, compare what they're not saying to yours. Compare what their photos look like, compare what their photos are looking like. So one of the things, and I'll let you guys speak on this, he shared he wasn't doing things like creating an action wall. He wasn't doing things like creating a theme. He wasn't doing things like adding plant life. But his competition was. So as he elevated, his game elevated. So that's just a thought for you guys. Dante, you wanna comment?
No, I agree with everything you just said.
Okay. What did you see, Rand? What did you hear?
Like I said, I'm doing space, but I mean, it's kind of similar to Turo, basically. The car share and stuff like that. Speaking of which, I forgot that was an actual success. We made it to the top host list this week for the quarter.
Beautiful. All right.
So
Those things,
huh?
Brendan share this, but your multiple streams of income, I think you were up to like 4 streams right now. Toro is one of them.
Yeah, Toro is one of them. Yeah,
Okay.
Toro is one of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not at it for this year. I had streams prior to, but I added 4 this year. Toro was one of those that I added to it. So, yeah, I guess it all aligns like with our last meeting in the DB community. Like you have to go around and look and see what somebody else is doing, providing, and then you look and see, okay, what can I do or what can I add so I can be in competition with what they're doing. Most people are going to look, like you're saying, if your pictures are not, if somebody's got pictures and they got plants or a theme, like you're saying, and you just got blah, where most people are rent. Especially if I'm paying the same price. I'm like, oh, okay, well, you got this, you got this. Why am I going to pay the same if I can go somewhere else and be in a better position, I guess.
So in the Toro business, how do you differentiate that experience so it's not just a price to price, apple to apple scenario?
I think we focus a lot on customer service. Like I said, we're very flexible. I can give you an example. I had one guy rented one of my cars, went down to actually was in Florida. When he got to Florida, somehow the key fob actually went out. You know what I'm saying? So he couldn't lock the car or whatever. So what I did was call a locksmith there, and while they were at their breakfast, eating whatever, the locksmith went in there, fixed the fob, whatever, so he can lock whatever, got him a new key or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That guy appreciated that because he didn't have to waste his time. He still was able to spend his time with his family, got the problem solved, and he gave a very good review about that. So it's really about customer service, that experience. Okay. I had no control. Like nobody knew that this key fob was going to go out. No, I mean, nobody can control that. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that I took the time to actually make sure that he was taken care of means a lot. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that is, like you saying, experience and customer service, making sure that the customer is able to go back and put that in a review. Hey, I was doing this and he actually took care of me while, you know what I mean, in another state, you know what I mean?
Right.
Making sure everything was taken care of. I didn't just leave them hanging or whatever, you know.
I mean, I love that because I think as operators, we can glean from that. Even though this is a different industry, we still hospitality driven, right?
Right.
So the more customer service that you can give the end client, and that might look different in our space. It might be giving them some grace for early check-in, or giving them some grace for late checkout.
Right.
Now, of course, we're businessmen, we're entrepreneurs, we're capitalists, so there ain't nothing wrong because that's an added amenity for us to, give them an opportunity to pay for it. So, ain't nothing wrong with that. But it's the flexibility that we're talking
about.
Right.
Yeah, right. The flexibility. If you say, hey, if somebody say, hey, I just need an hour late checkout. But if you think about that, you can say, okay, well, I want my, like I said, you have to figure out what you are actually looking for. Are you looking for more bookings? Or are you looking to be, I'm dead serious. You're going to pay me for my extra hour that you wanted to stay over in that, what you call it. But guess what? If you pay somebody, if they pay you, you probably not going to get the review if you did. They said they're going to go back and talk to somebody. Like, you know what? He actually let me stay over an hour. They didn't charge me, blah, 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 because of this. And what you call it. But guess what? You're going to now get more bookings because word of mouth is big deal. Like I said, you have to figure out where you want to be. Do I want?
Right. No, and that's the blessing. Figure out what your business model, and then be willing to optimize it, because you will change the thought process. Right. You'll be in a different space in terms of your business maturation and what you know and who you know. So it's not about being stagnant. But good. This was a good segment. Let's get to the next question. The next question that we had in front of us was the following.
When we do market.
Okay. This idea of being a super host for almost 2 years. The name of my podcast wasn't Airbnb Pro Tips. It was the super host community, because that was what was important back those days. But as the article is going to talk about, something has replaced this thing of being a super host. So y'all give me some commentary on this. Here we go.
Superhost is dead, so do this instead. Airbnb changed their algorithm to stop giving hosts a boost for doing a good job because there's operators that have hundreds of properties. I recently saw a listing that was 4.7 that said that the host was Superhost. This is what Airbnb is concerned about. There are listings that have problems even though the greater pool makes the host look good. So they stripped the algorithm boost from Superhost. Airbnb put all of that performance boost into something called guest favorites. You need at least 5 reviews. You need the same minimum number on those reviews as a Superhost account. And they even track if you've ever given a guest a refund for a trip-related issue or a cleanliness issue. Good reviews and no claims won by a guest for a problem at the property makes it a guest favorite. Do that on a per listing level and your property will pop up first in search, like my new jazzy studio. Follow for more.
All right, so what you don't know can't hurt you. Meaning what? We were fixating on, are you a super host? You know, what are your reviews? What's your cancellation policy? How responsive are you to your guests? And they changed the algorithm. So now that they've changed the algorithm, our KPIs are different now. So, you know, when I partner with a new landlord, my focus, I obsess that new property. I got to get them 5 positive reviews in under 30 days. Because if I'm successful in doing that, their property will stay on the first page. It used to be that just because of my superhost status, I could guarantee that their property would be in the first couple of pages, but it don't matter no more. It's per the listing and not per the host. Do you agree with or disagree with that, Dante? Because you've been in the game a little bit.
I agree with that. I don't know, like,
Go ahead, say more.
so, well, like with the superhost, like when I first signed up for Airbnb, that was like the main thing to have. Like, if you're a superhost, then you basically gonna get all the bookings in your area, as long as everything is upkept. But now it's switched over to guest favorites, and they want to make that more of the priority over superhost. And like, I understand why, but at the same time, I just feel like they keep moving the goalposts. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're 100%. And Ren, you may not be totally aware of this, but Airbnb used to have a filter, and you could filter by Lux. You know, Lux is basically if you want to hang out in the mansion for 2 or 3 nights, there's a button for that. I think Michael Jordan has his Chicago house Airbnb.
Bet you they do.
Yeah, for sure. And
I'm
then
not in that tax bracket yet.
yep, for sure. And then there used to be a button for superhost. Because you knew, hey, if you were dealing with a superhost, they knew what they were doing. That
Right.
button's no longer there.
Dang.
No longer there.
That
button has been replaced by guest favorites. So that's what we do now.
Yeah, I think that's that kind of messes up the whole. Yeah, they're just trying to get rid of the algorithm. So I guess they're trying to spread the wealth or whatever. But yeah, that kind of sucks. Because I feel like if you are a super host, and like you say, you should be top of the list for any listers in that area. You're top of the list. You know what you're doing. You had great guest experience, whatever, people, whatever. But yeah, that's kind of messed up.
With Dante's,
it's the only guest favorites gonna come, and if I book yours or I book somebody else, because again, it just comes back to I just happen to book this one, and this is my favorite place. Not that it gave you a better experience than somebody else. Yeah, that's kind of messed up.
Yeah. No, I mean, and honestly, I mean, I'm one of those operators. My goal is to make my landlord money, my partner money. So I could so one of the things that you tell you is if you have 100% occupancy, that means you're leaving money on the table. you're not being a good steward of the resource. So you should never have 100% occupancy, right? You should have that sweet spot. So
Why you say that? I'm kind of curious why you say that.
well, so there's two reasons that a person would have low occupancy. It's because the price is too high.
Right.
There's one reason that a person would have 100% occupancy.
Well,
The price is too low. So if the price is so low where a person, I mean, think about it. Like you an investor.
right.
Are you buying Nvidia now or 5 or 4 months ago? Well, you might buy an Nvidia now
You're
too.
gonna buy it 4 months ago, and
Yeah,
you're
right, exactly.
let the price. You're gonna buy low, sell high, basically. But
Exactly.
yeah, okay. I don't know. I guess
So
it
I
really
mean,
depends on what the market is in that area. If you are making sure that your price is up under your competition in that area, and you're
there
still
you go.
providing the same amount of service or the same
Right.
equivalent to the same amount of service,
Mhm.
and you're 100% booking, then you're basically forcing the competition. Either competition either gonna match you, or they just gonna. I'm always gonna take your bookings, or
But Rent, understand our value proposition
Mhm.
as property managers. What we do is we offer a landlord, a real estate investor, a way of 1.5 to 2xing their rent rate by doing non-traditional rentals.
Okay, I see what you're saying now.
So if they're not even getting their rent rate,
Well, I mean, if you're 100% occupied, they're gonna get the rent
well, it
you're
depends on
booking.
what the
You're
number.
always booked.
But it depends on what that number is, right?
Okay, I got
If it's so low, it don't make sense as a capitalist. So
Got
so
I got it.
ultimately, there's got to be some sort of, this is all based on the idea of that Airbnb keeps moving the goalposts of what excellence looks like.
Makes
And
sense.
that's the real question. That's the real question. Why we keep moving. And so again, part of our community, yeah, we're going to teach you how to leverage all these platforms. But at the end of the day, it's about you driving as much direct revenue through having a direct booking presence. And so, and those are conversations that we are always going to have. How much can you get? How much of your business is off platform? And there's a nuance to it. So let's keep this discussion moving. And I'm going to go in this direction now. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about a training that I went to this week. And the goal was not to focus on the stays, but to focus on the experience that you're rendering during that stay. Kind of like what you were saying, Ren, about the customer service as a way of safeguarding your income for the duration. So let's take a look at this video and let's get some commentary based on what you're saying.
Welcome, fellow hosts. The world of travel has changed. Airbnb is no longer just a cheap alternative to hotels. In the early days, a clean bed was enough. Now, competition is fierce. Guests scroll through endless listings and a basic room just blends in. Today's travelers want more than a place to sleep. They want an experience. They crave authenticity, local flavor, and memorable moments. Your role has evolved. You're not just a landlord, but a curator of experiences. This shift is your opportunity to stand out and build a brand guest's trust. By going beyond the basics, you attract better guests and earn glowing reviews. Think creatively. What would make your guests' stay special? Maybe it's a local guidebook, a welcome treat, or personalized recommendations. The key is to offer something unique that guests will remember. In a crowded market, experiences, not just amenities, set you apart. Let's explore how to make your Airbnb unforgettable. Upselling is about enhancing your guest's stay, not just making extra money. Offer early check-in or late checkout for a small fee. Guests love flexibility. Welcome baskets with local treats or a breakfast kit can delight tired travelers. Curate packages, a romantic setup with champagne, or a pet-friendly kit for furry companions. Partner with local wellness providers for in-house massages or yoga mats. These thoughtful add-ons save guests time and introduce them to your area. Upsells create 5-star experiences and lead to better reviews. Great reviews boost your bookings and let you charge more. You're not just selling a bed, you're selling a memory. The right upsells turn your listing into a premium brand. Guests will seek you out and recommend you to others. That's how you build long-term success. You don't have to do it all alone. Partnering with local businesses is a game changer. Guests need services, bike rentals, tours, airport transfers. Connect with neighborhood cafes, restaurants, or yoga studios. Offer guests discounts or exclusive deals, and your partners can promote your Airbnb. Negotiate commissions for referrals. Everyone wins. Partnerships let you offer more upsells without extra work. Create a digital guidebook with links to book local experiences. Team up with chefs for cooking classes or photographers for vacation shoots. These unique offerings make your Airbnb memorable. Join local host groups to share tips and resources. Fellow hosts are colleagues, not competition. Together, you can raise hosting standards in your city. Community connections make your business stronger. Don't get overwhelmed. Start small. Pick one upsell or partnership to try this week. Add early check-in, a welcome basket, or connect with a local business. Let guests know about your new offering in your listing and messages. Track what works and ask for feedback. Refine your approach and add more as you go. Testing and improving sets you apart as a professional host. Upsells and partnerships mean more income, better reviews, and a more rewarding hosting journey. Take that first step. Your guests and your business will thank you. Happy hosting.
Okay, a lot of meat on that particular bone. A lot of meat on that bone. O to the C is in the building, y'all. What's up, OC?
OC, what's up with the dilly, man?
What's going on, brothers? How y'all doing?
All right.
Sorry I'm late, man. Had my hands full.
Better late than never.
No doubt. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, same here. Same
Welcome to the
here.
community.
How's the retreat and everything going? Where you at?
Hey, man, look, Envision and on the back burner, things are turning.
Okay.
But the contractors are slow. I'll give you that much. But I'm making some. I'll let you know later what's going on with it.
Okay. All right. We good.
All right. Dante, you want to dig into that soundbite? I was gonna say you're on mute, but you're not, Dante. All right, we'll circle back to Dante. What about you, Rand?
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now, Dante. Go ahead.
Okay. I was saying, after listening to what the narrator was saying in the video, I do agree that us hosts can make more money by partnerships and upselling, but without being like money hungry. And that comes with what he said, which was offering experiences. And I know on Airbnb, that platform itself, they're trying to push that in the algorithm. The only issue is that we're not getting a cut from it. But I do understand that in order to stand out from the competition, we need to be memorable. So even if we do opt in for the experiences through Airbnb, we could also do things outside of Airbnb that could help us make the guest stay more memorable, if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. It makes a ton of sense. Makes a ton of sense. Before because I'm gonna put a cherry on top of what you said, Dante. Ren, I'm gonna let you share, and then OC, I'll let you share.
I totally agree. It's one thing that I do. Like I said, I feel like this Airbnb and Turos are pretty much the same things, just sharing a space or a product or whatever. And what we do, and what we actually do, and I actually got this from the younger folks, Gen Z. So when somebody actually flies into Louisville, Kentucky, because that's where I'm at, we give, I got it already automated. We actually give them suggestions for restaurants and places to go eat and stuff like that, because they might be new to Louisville, don't know what to do, or museums and stuff to go. I don't get no cut from that, but you know what? Every time people say, "Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate you telling me that," you know what I'm saying? And they either they go to these places or they don't go to these places. Maybe later on I can get a venture with them, be like, "Hey, if somebody comes to you that was Turo, maybe you can give them a discount." You know what I'm saying? But I'll have to go to these places and do that. But right now, it like I said, it just helps feed into people are getting the experience. Okay, I'm
Get the
here,
guest
I'm new.
experience.
Yeah, I'm here, I'm new to Louisville or whatever, and these are places I can go. Because most people, when you show up to some place, especially if you flying in, you don't really know like what's there unless you've actually lived in that city or something like that. So it's always good to have something there. So I actually agree with that whole thing, just getting something different and experience.
I love it. I love it. I love it. OC, come on, brother, talk to us.
Yeah, I totally agree with the experiences. I'm actually doing some of that already, trying to build that platform down in Carolina for when I get the farm retreat done. I hadn't done it at my Airbnbs, but I'm building partnerships now with like local wineries and fishing retreat guys down there that once I get the retreat up, you know, when people come to my place, they have a list of things to do, and I'm working out discounted options for them if I bring them through. And these guys are capitalists down there, so they understand that, you know, if I'm bringing them business, they're gonna give me business. So it's one hand washes another. You don't always have to have your eyes on the dollar, but you want to bring value to the people. And as you bring value to the people, they show appreciation. You know, even at my Airbnbs, I've brought value to people by providing them, like you said, recommendations for dinners, and you know, upon demand, upon request rather, and they didn't, you know, off the back, it didn't seem like it was a big deal to me. But when I went to clean the rooms up and looked under the pillow, there's $20 under the pillow here and there, you know. So they just let me know they appreciate going above and beyond. So, you know, my philosophy is plant a good seed, you reap a good harvest.
Amen.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. You know, and one of the things that I wanted to share with you guys, as you guys are like evolving and growing in your business, you know, one of the third party vendors that I use now is a company. Man, I should have a link to get but no, is a company called Hostco. And so Hostco, Dante, you may be tracking. Hostco is who I send. It's a virtual store. I have an SQR code in all of my places. They can scan the code, and it goes to a virtual store. And what's in that virtual store? If they need flexible check in and check out, they go to the store, and you know they can purchase that. If they have they're traveling with their pets, they go to the store, one pet, two pet, three pets, no problem, purchase that. If you want a massage person to come in, purchase that. If you so everything that Airbnb, the platform, is allowing the guests to do, but we don't get any kickback. Hostco allows you to do that. So one of the projects I'm doing right now is because we're seeing like I'm looking at the numbers, like we earned an extra $1,000 last month just doing pets. Just doing pets. People like to travel with their babies.
Yep.
And so one of the things we're trying to work out is like creating a premium pet package. So if you buy the pet package, you get a little doggy bone, you get a little bed, and you know women like to make real cute little things. And I'm like,
that's a good idea.
Make your magic. Make your magic. Because I wouldn't have thought about it. But you know, I mean, you can't do it in every market you're in, especially if you're doing a remote hosting business the way we are. But if it's in your local market and you can, go for it. But now here's the thing that, and OC kind of undersold, what OC is doing with his farm retreat, is he creating these strategic partnerships? Like the whole idea of having the guests that come to see you, OC, and you connecting with the food truck and having them come to your place and you giving them an opportunity to service your clients, or whether it's the winery or whether all of that will come full circle. That will absolutely,
No doubt.
because then it's no longer, like we've been saying, it's not about the stay, it's about the experience during the stay. So that's what I love. That's what I love. Look, we're at the top of the hour. We like to keep this to 60 minutes. There was more meat on the bone that we had, but we're gonna button this up. If we can go around, we'll end with you, OC. But if we can go around, Dante, what's one thing that you could take away from our segment for today?
Experience. Focus on creating experience for the guests so that they could come back again.
All about the experience. Love it. What about you, Ren?
I feel like this is the same as the Toro. It's just at a bigger platform, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that you already have a total business,
Yeah.
Ren, because I mean, this is gonna be like, it's all transferable information.
Yeah. But
Very much so.
customer service, the same, what you call it. Like I said, I'm a big ponent on customer service because I hate going into place and I get poor customer service. It just makes me cringe. So I've always been a proponent of that. Like I said, you just got to focus on what it is that you want to do. I want to make money? Do I want to make, you know what I'm saying? Or do I, like you said, want to make that experience? You got to make that distinction.
Yeah, you got to. You have to. All right, O to the C, man. You got the final word.
Yeah, and I would say just, this triggers us to be creative, a little more creative in what we're doing and strategic. Some of these ideas we thought of before Airbnb put them out. We were already thinking in this path to bring these experiences. A matter of fact, I signed the farm up for an experience right when they first started talking about it, and Airbnb first brought the thing on, and you had to be approved for their experience program. So you had to write up a good whole thing and get approved. So I say just be creative. When you're thinking about this stuff, think outside the box, and allow this new season with the short-term rental stretch your mind to do new things. So you'll even come up with greater things.
Amen. All right. Well, that's it. That's all we got for you folks out there in social media. In the words of my spiritual partner in crime, OC, we want to be blessed, but more importantly,
be a blessing.
We want to be a blessing.
Amen.
Take care, y'all.
Amen.
Salute.
No doubt. Hey, Earl, make sure you get with me offline, man. It's about that BA
Absolutely. Stuff. I got you. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
All right. Good talk.